Hi Sagittarius, it's Power and Light Tarot coming at you with the reading. This is Dee Fernandez, your tarot reader, your psychic, your astrologer, and your past life regression practitioner. Let's see what we have today for you guys. Take what fits and leave the rest out. We start with Unfinished Symphony. So there's something that is unfinished that needs to be completed or fulfilled, right? And we see this woman, and she is on top of this egg. There's a person inside. That may be her, probably, in deep thought, like this, the unconscious, right? And so there she is, and she is actually on this keyboard, and all these notes, musical notes, and the treble clef is here, and so something has to be finished, like almost like a song needs to be. It needs to be, written and completed. And so this is a 10. So it is about something that needs to be completed. It is unfinished business with somebody, it looks like, right? And business is interesting when we say business. I mean, it means a whole bunch of stuff, doesn't it? And truth be told is this is accepting the truth, right? It's like, hey, I can't stop, I can't keep repressing this or ignoring it or denying it, or right? And so here's the owl, and he opens the gateway for the hearts to come fluttering out, and he's standing on a mask, a gold mask. So somebody had their mask on and they did not want to see the truth. That's what is going on here. Yeah, that's interesting, huh? You don't want to see the lies, though. Yeah, let's see what else. And we have, this is about somebody who steps into fire, and they're like, I have to do this, I really want to do this, but I know I'm going to get like I'm going to have some type of a repercussion. So back in this cave is kind of where he started, or there's something about the cave here that is showing up, but this is about his freedom and his will to do what he wants, because we have the Aries glyph, and this is the will to do, and the Aquarius glyph, which is rebellion, rebelliousness, and like rebellious and freedom loving, right? Somebody wants to do what they want, what's best for themselves, but they feel like they're going to get like some type of a bite, like they're going to get, bitten in the behind, kind of, right? And we have the Knight, and this is prevention. So somebody was stuck here, and his sword is stuck in the stone, and he can't go on his mission, right? He can't continue. Once again, we have Aries, and Aries is about doing. Aries is the Fool. Aries is the magician, but he is the first cardinal sign, and that just gets out there and, takes on the world. Aries represents when you're born, right? That is the archetype for Aries, the first house and the first sign. Yeah. So let's see what else we have. Somebody wanted to do what they wanted to do. They finally accepted it. I'm going to do this. And they knew there was going to be a repercussion. And it has to do with this unfinished symphony. And also there's somebody bitter here. We see the bitter nun. Yeah. And she is sitting outside in the snow in her habit, which is this religious, vestige, or, this is her religious dress, so to speak. And it's very thin. It's not made for, outdoor in the snow. No, but she's sitting out there. This is just confirming, or kind of reiterating, demonstrating her bitterness and her coldness. And she's cutting something. So there's an ending here. And we see this restriction here. This is the sign of Saturn, and it looks like a hook. It looks like the hook that you stick into, like some wood or something like that. Right? But it is about restrictions, and she is feeling restricted. Yeah, she is. We see the hook here, both places. Yeah. And so, and then we have the Pisces glyph too. And, Pisces can be about, it in this context of this card, it can be about somebody who was fooled, because Pisces is about one of the, archetypal energies of Pisces in the 12th house is uncertainty or confusion and fogginess. And so this is why they can be fooled. Yes, they can. Sometimes we can all be fooled, not just Pisces, but that is part of the archetype, right? Yeah. So everybody has Pisces in their chart too. So wherever yours is maybe what you might be uncertain about. Yeah, it's really interesting. Astrology all the time, right? Yeah, and let's get a couple of these cards for you guys, Sagittarius. And we have the Pure card, Honor Your Temple. Yeah, so we're going to cover her because she's, she's not entirely dressed here. But Honor Your Temple, Pure. This is about when we see this man who like is getting in trouble, or he's stepping into fire because he's doing what he wants to do. Which has some freedom aspect of freedom to it, and yeah, and kind of being detached, but he's stepping into this fire, and so this is part of him. Like, I have to do this. I have to honor my own temple, honor myself. I have to do what's right for me, and there could be a purification here when we see the word pure, and so which is a Virgo energy, and we're in Virgo today. We're in Virgo. Virgo is about, one of the things is about purification. And cleanliness, and yeah, and so truth be told is part of this. Honor the temple, honor your own temple. Yeah, everybody has to honor their temple, otherwise their temple will look like or will feel like a dilapidated old church or something like that, right? We have reveal, express the real you. So she's unzipping her dress. This is kind of a weird picture, but she's got these spider webs on her back, and they're just, but they look like spider webs. They also look like veils. So, she was lying to the world, or, kind of not being herself. And we know that in this reading, that somebody was not honoring themselves and what they wanted and their own path. They were honoring something else, and we're not sure what they were honoring at the time, but it doesn't make any difference. They could have been honoring a relationship, and somebody could be quite bitter, because we have that card. Let's get into it, Sagittarius. And if you want your own psychic reading, you sure can get one. I always check for accuracies all the time. That's how I do it. I have a lot of pride in my work. And for the psychic and the tarot readings, if you don't know somebody and you just kind of want the skinny on them, then you should get one of those. You get the psychic part first, you get the tarot part second. You choose the formatting, live video call or a video recording, or both. You can get a phone call if you want. Mystic Sense has a free 5-minute psychic reading, and also I do past life regression healing, which is very, very cool. So the bottom of this deck is the strategy card, and these are not our tarot cards, but I kind of wanted to pull that up. And somebody is using their strategy, and there he is moving around Hermes, which is the messenger. And this could be a message to you, but Hermes, this is also about somebody understanding their own messages, their own insight, like what their psyche is telling them, what their own psychology and what they've learned, and deep insight, deep truths, right, that may have been hidden. It's a possibility here, because we see the vampire and the jester and these other people who are here. And also the servitor is here. Where is the servitor? She's over here, and she talks about healing and accepting the truth, wisdom. Yeah. So let's get right into this, Sagittarius. Everything's in the description box for you with regard to my readings. They're lots of fun, and check that out. So let's see what we have. And we have the 9 of Pentacles, Sagittarius, and the 10 of Wands. So right away we start with the completion. We know we have something that is unfinished, but we know something is ending here, because somebody's stepping in fire, and they're just ending something because they are honoring themselves, which is always a good thing. If everybody honored themselves, not in yes, a little bit in a selfish way. You have to be a little selfish. You won't have anything in your life if you're not. And we're not talking about arrogance, but if everybody honored what their soul's intention was, there wouldn't be any war or anything like that. I highly doubt it. And there wouldn't be jealousy and all this kind of stuff, right? The Wheel of Fortune and the Hermit are showing up, and the Tower and the 5 of Pentacles. There's a lot of kind of chaos in this reading with the 10 of Wands, the Tower, and the 5 of Pentacles. Although the cards are a little dramatic, of course, how can they express their content, or their meaning rather? Somebody gets left out in something or somebody, and it could be related to this bitter woman here, the bitter nun, right? Could be. And so And the Tower comes in here as some type of powerful realization. I believe it does. This could be related to an ending as well. Down here, we'll move the camera down, Sagittarius. But when we have truth be told, this is a completion in itself, right? And this is some type of a challenge because it's a 5. 14 is a 5. So we see, sometimes 5s are about short-lived victories. They can be, not all the time, but there. And we have a 5 over here, the 5 of Pentacles. So the 5 of Pentacles is about lack or leaving something out, leaving something behind. It can be an aspect of your personality, but it can be a physical situation. And these are pentacles, so, pentacles speak to the physical, they do. But they also speak to our values and our resources, like the ones that we have, the ones that we use that are deep down, like our resources, right? This is how we kind of, persevere through life with our own resources, right? When the going gets tough, the tough get going. And that's just how life is, right? And if the tough don't get going, that's going to be tough on them, right? It's going to be a hard way to go. It is. Yeah, we all have those in our life. We have the Star. I'm going to have to cover her. Yep. And, whoops. And we have the Knight of Swords and the King of Pentacles. So in the reading, maybe there's a Virgo. We have the Hermit as well. We might have an Aquarian here. We could. There's Aquarian energy in this reading. Remember I was telling you about this card here where I feel like what they call this, in spite, or something like that. But he's, stepping into the fire in spite of everything. This just means that he's going to do what he's doing, of course, but he knows he's going to have some type of repercussion. But here's the Aquarius glyph, and we have the Star. The Star is about, it can be about freedom. They call it hope, and they say that it is about inspiration and healing, right? Because the water's showing up, and the stars are there for the wisdom. The stars are there for you to understand yourself. And Indian astrology is based on the stars, whereas tropical astrology is based on the sun. So, and the sun is the most powerful luminary. If it's, if you want to call it a luminary, a planet, it's not really a planet, but it is the most powerful in the solar system. Yes, that's why it's called the solar system, up in the cosmos for sure. And so here, but this Aquarius card here and this Aquarius glyph up here, yeah, this is talking about somebody wants their freedom on some level here. And I feel like something may have ended a relationship possibly, but the Nine of Pentacles can talk about freedom. It can talk about she's dancing to her own drum. She's self-sufficient. They're showing a rich lady here. You can tell by her clothes here. And she's got all her pentacles, and she has a falcon here. I don't know if they're expensive birds. I assume they are, but anyway. And so, yeah, really interesting how kind of, I mean, a falcon's not an ugly bird, but it's not the most beautiful bird. It's definitely not a cardinal or, a blue jay or these other really beautiful birds and bluebirds and things like that, right? No, but it's interesting how, some things are seen as, I guess, especially with animals, seen as kind of, not a token of beauty, but the world kind of, just kind of goes by that, right? But they're really interesting, and animals are all beautiful. I just thought that was kind of interesting. Whereas with people, a lot of people, just go by beauty, right? But these animals can be darn ugly, but they're, they're great in their own essence, right? In their own way. All right. So somebody could be single here with the Ten of Wands. They could have let go of somebody. Here we have the Five of Pentacles next to it and the Tower below it. There looks like somebody had a powerful realization here, and that's what truth be told is. He's opening the floodgates for the hearts to be released, and the standing on the mask. So that is a powerful realization that lifts the veil. Remember, we have this card, and underneath on her back is the veil. Express the real you, reveal. Somebody is expressing the real them. Yes, they are here. And they're getting into trouble by doing it, some type of trouble. It just means that somebody doesn't want them to do it. Probably the bitter lady in this reading, the bitter, right? but somebody doesn't want them to do it. Somebody doesn't agree with them. And so therefore, maybe they're leaving somebody out. 5 of Pentacles. And in the past, we have not the past, but what's assisting you is the Wheel of Fortune, Sagittarius. This is divine timing happening for you in this reading. When the veil comes down for somebody, this is divine timing. Yes, it is. And the Hermit sits in the past, and there he is. And, he had a long time to think about things. He's got a big, long beard there. He does, and he's probably younger than he looks here because, he's got a lot of barba here. And we have the 3 of Cups, and that is, and that is in the upright. Yep. And so this is in the past. So this is somebody gained wisdom here that maybe a Virgo, maybe not, but somebody gained wisdom that they want to either reconcile with you or that you represent this major joy for them, Sagittarius, and happiness. And this is why the veil comes down. Somebody was suppressing their feelings in this reading, and or repressing. There's like a difference. I feel like suppressing is when you're kind of sabotaging yourself, right? By not, acknowledging your feelings, or acknowledging them, but just ignoring them, almost like a self-sabotage. That is suppression. But repression is, I feel like but it's not as bad as suppression in some way. Yeah. So, but somebody here was kind of ignoring their feelings, I believe. Yeah, they were. And now the veil comes down. When the veil comes down, so does the tower. The wall comes down here. This is a building, but they're falling out, and they don't have any control here. So what this means is that a powerful realization comes in, and whoever has received it, this epiphany, this aha, this could be the dark night of the soul, right? Or some people call it the night of the soul, but it is usually very dark. Yes, it is. It is showing us usually a lot of times the night of the soul can show us what we have been suppressing in our lives, in our soul, and our soul is crying out. That is the night of the soul, when your soul cries out for uniqueness and for wholeness, and it will get it any way it can, if allowed. Yeah, and here's the tower to bring that in, right? Yeah, and so here let's get a card on that tower, and that is coming into play, and it's here with the King of Wands. I feel like somebody's going to share a powerful realization with you, Sagittarius. 5 of Pentacles is in the near future, but it's not really in the near future. This is all like now. I mean, it could be days after somebody. I feel like somebody's just leaving somebody out in this reading, or leaving something out, or stepping out of their lack mentality. Because when you're repressing your feelings, and you are, living behind the veil, then you are living in lack. There's no other way to put that, right? When you're fighting your feelings, you're not enjoying what you really want to enjoy. You're not going after the dreams that you really have deep in your heart and deep in your soul. So you are essentially creating lack for yourself and stagnation. We have the King of Pentacles again. He's here, and he's here twice, and we have the 10 of Wands again. Because this is the sister deck, excuse me. And so here we have those. Wow. And this was either hard to leave somebody out, or hard to see that it's hard for somebody to accept that they were denying themselves. Yeah. The star is the advice here, and this is, this is inspiration. This could be advising you, Sagittarius, that this person is quite inspired. This can be about advice in the way that somebody lifts the veil, and this creates healing, right? That's what I said. It does. Lifting the veil will create healing in your life, of course. Some people go to the grave and they never lift the veil. That is very superficial and shallow, and if they don't lift the veil, they're going to have to do it in the next life. They will go through the same type of difficulties where the universe is asking them to be whole, and honestly to be unique, to be authentic, to be real about what you really want in this life, and don't let the fears hold you back, right? We have the Wheel of Fortune supporting this. This is divine timing. universal law. This is divine order, divine law. Everything here is about the universe protecting this. Yeah. And so here, and that's what happens when you let down your guard and you stop fighting your feelings about something, about what you want in this life, and about who you're in love with, too. Yeah. The star, and now we have the Ace of Swords with it. So the advice here, it could be telling you this person's very inspired about you. They want a new beginning. That could be the advice here. And the Page of Swords is in the environment. This is the psyche usually, but it could be a physical environment. It sits next to the Five of Pentacles. This is about something physical as well. It is. And so we have the Hangman reversed. And this, what is physical in this reading is some type of unfinished relationship here or situation. Yeah. For sure. All right. So the Hangman is here. He's not reversed. He's just reversed all by himself, right? And so Hangman here in the environment, this could be, you know, a few things. This could be a person. This could be a Piscean in the reading. And this can also be about wondering if somebody's understanding here. But I feel like that's what this is. This reading is about somebody who does understand. Not so much wondering, but this person was wondering. This was a curiosity. Why am I feeling this way? Why do I feel like my life is full of lack? And I really, now, why is it coming now? Why is it like being shown to me now? Here's the Tower. It will never be shown to you until divine timing is perfect. That's how it is, right? Somebody can love you left and right, up and down, and, you know, all day long and twice on Sunday. But if they are having their own issues, then they can only come for you when they have healed those issues. That's how it works. And divine timing will decide that whenever they are ready. And geez, you know, for some people it's, you know, kind of, maybe we could say a normal amount of time, and for other people it can take years. Yeah, and that is a trip because the psyche is so complicated and so deep. Yes, it is. And the hopes and fears, Sagittarius, is the Knight of Swords. And this is like, well, I'm coming in. I'm going to do this. Yeah, with, you know, regardless of, you know, what could happen here. Only good can happen. Mostly that's what somebody is feeling in this reading. Only good can happen because I am following my heart, following my soul. I'm aligning myself with the universe. And here's the Hermit with it, which is showing up twice. So, yeah. And so this is definitely about somebody's, you know, intuitive insight here and complete understanding of themselves and the world that they live in, basically, and what they want for themselves, what's good for themselves. And here's the King of Pentacles in the potential outcome with the Empress. Wow, how beautiful is that? This could be a man and a woman, could be an earth sign and a woman, could be, you know, any couple here, but it does look like a couple. It does. Maybe we have Taurus and Libra with the Empress, not necessarily. And now we have the Star as well. So we have these repeaters. And this is about having a lot of hope and inspiration to make somebody's dreams come true in love. I'm going to end this reading, Sagittarius. If you want to get a reading with me, check out the description box. They're lots of fun. This was a beautiful reading. I feel like it was. And somebody did go through something tough here. And I feel like it's all worth it. It is. There's a grand evolution in this reading. And that's what this has to do with, too. This Wheel of Fortune. So we're going to end this reading. Thanks so much, you guys. Yeah, please like, share, and subscribe. It helps me with the YouTube algorithm here to keep these coming to you.